to get a hold of yourself.
We need a super drum roll for the man of the hour who is about to step in and teach everybody, how to build a business. The one, the only, Aaron Goodman.
I appreciate that, Nell. I don't need no drum roll. We need a drum roll for those applications today is what we need, dog. Taking care and serving some clients, knocking it out, getting it done. That's what we do. That's what we do. So welcome everybody. I see a lot of new faces on here, some that are a part of the agency, some that are brand new. I don't know you. Maybe you were invited through social media. Maybe you got an email, maybe you got a text, maybe you got a direct invite from someone that's already within the agency and on the team. So I extend direct welcome to everyone joining us tonight. Tonight is about TLG. I'm trying to figure out how Leah Mitchum and Danielle White are together. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are y'all actually together?
That's right. We are actually together.
I just rolled in like on two wheels for this meeting.
That's hilarious. I was like, somehow they did a split screen because they live in.
No, sir. We're having a lock-in in South Carolina.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, those who are together and on here together, welcome to the call together. And, that excites me. I love when teammates and agency members, man, they get together and they just start doing big things and planning big things out. So I'm fired up for what everybody's doing and get moving. Quick introduction. So tonight, I'm just going to go over a little bit about me, my story, who we are, what TLG is as a company, what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. I'll lay out all the nuts and bolts of what this company stands for and what we're about. Even then, at the end of the call, we'll do a charge just for getting back with the person that you invited you on this call. But make sure, if you got an email, respond to the email that you're ready to move forward. If you got a text, respond to the text. If you got a direct invite from Danielle White, respond back to Danielle White. Right? So just make sure that you guys are paying attention throughout everything we're getting ready to go over. So a little about me. I'm Senior Vice President Aaron Guterman, and I've been in the insurance industry now going on 15 years. It'll come this January. A long time. I used to think of myself as a youngin in the industry. I was 29 years old when I got started. Even before then, growing up, I was going all the way through, different state to different state, moving with my dad. My dad worked for the post office. My mom worked for Sam's Club. All right. So I didn't have wealthy parents growing up by any means, but I did have, I'd have middle-class parents. Even we could probably say with both incomes, upper middle-class parents. And, but that was their goal for me, is to kind of follow in their footsteps. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you probably have parents like that, or maybe you've never had a household that broke six figures. Wherever you come from is where you started, but that's kind of where I was. So I was born in Illinois, moved to Pennsylvania, and then moved to North Carolina when I was 12 years old. My dad's post office job had us moving a lot. right? So I wasn't really stuck to one area. But we landed in North Carolina, fired up to be here because they were a basketball state. My dad was like, you better get good at basketball because all the colleges around Raleigh, and we've got NC State, we've got UNC, we've got Wake Forest, we've got Duke. We've got a lot of basketball and football going on in North Carolina, Steve Stevenson. And I had to quickly learn that, sir. Going in, I was in the 6th grade when I joined. On from there, I graduated high school, Millbrook High School, if anybody's from this area, and played baseball. And I didn't get a scholarship to NC State, but I did go to NC State, got accepted to NC State, but I walked on the NC State baseball team. But if anybody knows anything about me in college, I kind of went a little bit wild. When I joined NC State, it was 1999, 2000 era. And if anybody of you know anything about football, Phillip Rivers was our NC State quarterback, right? He was a huge, huge quarterback, and we were winning all kinds of football games. So I would be at the games, and because we were winning so much, more or less going to class, I was going to parties. We had ripped down. I think we played Virginia Tech one year. We ripped down the goalpost and marched that thing down Hillsborough Street. If anybody knows anything about Raleigh, but that was kind of going towards the end of my college career. I did 2 years at NC State, wasted a ton of my parents' money, and wasn't attending classes a whole lot, especially with my roommates, Topher and Alan. Like, we were more or less attending, class and keg parties. It's just kind of the way I was. We were at the mall one day, just kind of walking around goofing off, and I was approached by an Army recruiter. And he said, "Sir, what are you doing with your life?" And at that particular time, Rodney Henderson, I was like, you know what, man? I'm messing it all up. Like, I am wasting my parents' money. I'm wasting what I'm doing here. I'm not passing any of my classes. And he talked me, not my roommates, but he talked me into to joining the military. And I went and took my ASVAB test. I did my workouts, did pretty good. And went and finally did everything and said, all right, now it's time to pick your job. And I said, okay, let's pick this job. And I started looking at the jobs, Rodney. If anybody's ever been in the military, they kind of give you a list of jobs that you qualify for based on the test that you score. And I scored pretty good. Like, I'm not an infantry guy, if that makes sense. I probably could have been, but I picked the ones with the biggest bonuses. I was like, okay, signal, boom, $5,000 bonus. Hey, what's this? Airborne, $5,000 bonus. I was like, I'm game. Like, they're just going to pay me $10,000 like to join the military. I'm in. Right? I'm in. So I go to boot camp. Awesome. Broke me down, lifted me up, gave me leadership skills. Then I go to AIT, which teaches me how to be basically a signal operator. And then they're like, all right, man, you're going to airborne school. Right. What's that? You're going to jump out of airplanes. Oh, that's what that $5,000 bonus was for. So I quickly learned that I was going airborne. And you know what? Airborne school was the bomb. Like, it really, really made me step my game up as far as discipline goes, loyalty, like just being proud to be a part of a unit. And it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made without even knowing it, and going to airborne school. So I learned how to jump out of planes. And that was 2001. We all know what happened in 2001, right? 9/11 attacks happened. I was currently in AIT learning. And on that day, I can remember it like it was yesterday. We were actually out just doing our workouts. And that morning, we had the 9/11 attacks. And I didn't go into the military thinking I was going to be going to war, but I knew it that day. I knew exactly. Everybody around us knew it that day that we were going to war. So in 2001, left AIT, went to airborne school, got to my unit at the 82nd Airborne. And get this, Rodney, I actually joined the military because my brother, he was mechanized at Fort Carson. So he's my older brother. Mechanized means he worked on tanks and he drove tanks. And he had gotten out due to disability, broke his thumb during hand-to-hand combat training, stuff like that. Got out and then got back in, joined the Air Force, the chair force for those who are asking. But that's where he joined. And we knew that we were going, but I was a part of the 82nd Signal Battalion. Within 6 months, our unit, I was the first one out of the Signal Battalion to attach to an infantry unit. And out of 15,000 signal soldiers, like I was one of 5 to go out first. so me and my team, we went out and we sat in Kuwait City before the war kicked off. And as soon as the war kicked off, they started throwing us across the line with, the beginning push. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget that time. I spent my first 6 months there, came back, and then did my second tour within another 6 months. While I was in the military, though, we get paid pretty well. You move up ranks while you're at wartime. You move up. I didn't have any bills. I was young, 21 to 23, 24 years old. Just had money sitting in my bank account because I didn't have any bills. So they just pay us, hazard pay, per diem, food, you name it. They just start giving it to you. So I saved up probably $50,000, $60,000 in my bank account while I was overseas at war and planning my way out. Right. So back home, I had a buddy named Chris and we started setting up. He's like, well, I'm in flooring. You've got funds to be able to set up a flooring company with me. Why don't we partner up while you're overseas? I'll go ahead and put things together in Raleigh. That way, when you get out, you'll be right here to land in a company where we could partner together and start working. Another very smart decision. I started funneling money and Chris set up accounts with Home Depot and Lowe's. This is in late 2005. Home Depot and Lowe's. And by the time I got back, we had roughly, 45 installers, a warehouse. We had 24 Home Depot stores, another 28 to 30 Lowe's stores. And I came in making, 250 to 350 grand a year, right? That's what we were pumping volume. So I was ready to get out of the military and stepped into a company that he was the brains behind. But once I got in there, we started growing it, and continued to grow it from there. From 2005 to 2007, I met my wife. So I've been married now for going on 19 years, 2007. Can we do the math? That's a long time. But I met Dana in 2007. Matter of fact, Dana, y'all, here's my age right here. Dana MySpace stalked me. Y'all know what MySpace is? I know we all use Facebook and stuff like that, but Dana MySpace stalked me. She loved my music. Back then everybody had like their own music on their page. And she was like, that's a dope song. You look awesome. Let's meet. I was like, dang. I was actually playing APA pool that night. And I told her, come up and meet me. And we didn't spend a day apart. I actually asked her to marry me within 2 months. We were married within 5 months of meeting her. And then she was pregnant a month and a half after. Talk about like instant family, Leah. You know what I'm saying? Like instant family. But I was living on top of the world, 25, 26 years old, making great money, moved her into a beautiful home. And I don't know if you're familiar with Raleigh, but Wakefield in Raleigh, North Carolina, we moved into a 6,000 square foot home, bought a Chrysler 300C off an NBA basketball player. It was like the rims alone were 20 grand. Like it was dope. Had a Hummer, had a brand new Harley Davidson. And I thought we had 2 dogs. And by that time, Mason was born in 2010, AJ 2008. So, we were just we were living life, like living pretty good. AJ was a part of the family. But y'all remember what happened late 2008, around 2008, 2009? World flipped upside down. Housing crash, right? Being that young, KJ, I never thought it would happen to me. I'm like, dude, I am young. I'm making great decisions. I'm making great money. I'm married, got the house, got the cars, even got the dogs and got the baby, right? I had 1 son at that time. But then when the market crashed, I remember, and if y'all, some of y'all may not be this old. I get it. I'm dating myself here. but if y'all remember Home Depot and Lowe's running carpet and flooring commercials for $99 installs, they started trying to strum up business any way that they could, Craig. Craig, you're in the flooring business. You get this, man. They were trying to strum up. I don't know if you were in it that back then, but they were trying to strum up business any way that they could. And they were running carpet installs and they're like, hey, you guys got to cut your prices. We're trying to survive. Entire departments were being shut down because there wasn't enough people investing in their houses. People are losing their mortgage. They said just an extra $500 a month would have saved 90% of mortgages. Ain't that something? But people people couldn't keep up with what was happening. People weren't investing into their homes anymore. And we were losing store after store after store after store. I think we went down from, close to 30 Lowe's stores to, down to 15. Home Depots went from 25 down to 10. And there was a company, and I'll never forget their name, Romanoff Flooring. They came in and ate up all the mom and pop shops like us because they were the biggest East Coast flooring operator through those stores. And they put a price point in there, and our contract went away. Just like that. We used to have paperwork this thick every single morning of jobs that we would send our installers to. And then we just watched it. Oh, and it went fast, Craig. Like I'm talking 40, 50 jobs a day down to like 5 to 7. We couldn't maintain. We couldn't maintain anymore. We lost that company very fast. That was late 2009 when we lost everything. And I moved Dana out of that 6,000 square foot house, thought we could build it back, moved her into like a 4,000 square foot house. Didn't. Had to move her finally into one of our houses that we bought in 2008. But it was a rental. And from that time, we hadn't paid the mortgage on it in probably a year, 2 years. And we moved into it. We were using the rent money, to live cause it got real tough. And we moved in there scared to make things happen. I got into stonemasonry with my father-in-law. He was a stonemason for 40 years and he got back into stonemasonry, taught me the trade, and I just started posting Craigslist jobs. So I went from making 250 to 300,000 plus a year down to about 25 to 30. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but what that does to a man who thought he had everything, and at that time now had 2 children, right? Had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. It got real tough in my household. Went into a straight up depression like you wouldn't believe. Thought I'd failed my entire family and didn't know how to pull out of it. Didn't know how I was going to pull out of it. I was introduced. It was actually late December, Christmas time, around 2010. My brother, who is my little brother, he dropped some information on me and said, "Hey man, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Big brother, right? Doing great. I'm doing good, man." right. I'm trying to, everything's okay. He was like, okay. I know it's not. I tell you what, you should go get your insurance license. And number one, I was confused at that statement because I thought he was a missionary, right? Like he had been all over the world traveling with a church, doing missionary stuff. And I was like, dude, what's that all about? Like, what's an insurance license? Like, I don't know about y'all, but at 29 years old, my opinion of insurance was the old dude in the coat with a hat with a briefcase sitting in an office, kind of like a State Farm guy. I wasn't even thinking about insurance. In my opinion, I was like, dude, I'm 29 years old. We're talking about insurance. I'm going to die anytime soon. I'm good. I just never thought about it. Never looked into the industry ever at all. I'm in construction, right? I was in the Army, I just didn't think about that kind of, I did have, the SGLI while I was in the Army. They kind of made you do it. They were like, hey, if you die at war, your family should get some money. Yeah, I agree with that. How much it cost? $8. I'm in. Right. That was kind of a no-brainer for me. But he was like, hey, you should go get your insurance license. All right, man. How much does that cost? What do we got to do, to get all that done? And he was like, well, it's, $150 to get your license, some background things. And then, there'll be some marketing money to start. And I was like, dude, I am tapped out. Like literally for the last year, I've been borrowing money from my parents, and I can't borrow any more money. It was kind of a tough decision for me. And we're at Christmas. I can't even afford, Christmas presents for my kids. Like it got so bad that we used to like scrum through the house for change and go feed it to the Food Lion green machine to go get dollars because we were too embarrassed to go to McDonald's with 50 cents or, $5 in quarters. Like that was my life. We shared at that time a 1996 Honda Odyssey with a dent in the back because Ray, my father-in-law, hit it with his car. Like, that was my life. Like I couldn't fathom figuring out how to get anywhere anymore. But I said, listen, in 2 weeks before this, like right at the beginning of December, because we're coming up on Christmas, me and Dana get into an argument. I don't know about y'all, but money problems cause spousal arguments. Y'all agree? Like it just does. And I was contemplating on getting a job with Home Depot in Wake Forest. They were going to pay me at that time, I think it was $500+ a week. After taxes, it would have been around 350, 375 for 40 hours of work. It's like, I need something. I got to do something. Dana, God bless her. Aaron, you're worth more than that. I believe in you. Keep trucking, keep moving. And then my brother comes along. I'm like, dude, like, I don't know what to do. And he said, you've got to figure out how to get the money to get your license. So I sold one of the most precious things to me, which was my Tama Rockstar drums that I would beat out my frustration on every single weekend. And I put them on Craigslist, Mark, for $600. $600. Kid came immediately because I had 2 double kicks, you name it. Like, this was probably easily a $2,000 plus set, easily. And he came and got it, put $600 in my hand, left just in a hurry. Like, he knew what he had. And I had the money, paid for my license, had a brand new baby at the time, sat in my recliner. For some of you procrastinating on your license, I sat down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, finished by 1 o'clock in the morning, and finished my course in one day. I was hungry. I was hungry. You know, then I scheduled my test 2 days later and failed it like a rock star. You know, they give you a little test score of what you need to work on. So I worked on it, went back through the questions, worked on all that stuff, and scheduled it Tuesday. 2 days after that, studied real hard and passed it. I actually got a 68 the first time, probably got a 70 the very next time, which is all you need to pass. Some people are like, I got a 90 on mine. Awesome. Doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. All you need is a 70 and you are ready to rock and roll in the insurance industry. That's all you need. So I was fired up that day, y'all. I was like, dang. He was like, all right, man, now I got to come to a conference. I was like, okay, all right. What's this? Like, y'all going to teach me how to sell insurance? Like, I don't know anything about anything, right? Like, you're going to have to teach me everything from ground up. He was like, all right, come to the conference. So I get to this conference and there are thousands of people there, thousands. And I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Like, lights, cameras, action, all that good stuff. And I sit way in the back. And I'm at this conference for a couple days. And I promise you, I didn't learn one thing about insurance. Not a dang thing, man. They didn't teach me anything about insurance. All they did was tell me how fired up they are about insurance, right? They were like story after story after story of, I was here, I'm here now. And I was like, okay, like, at what point do I need to learn about the products, how to do this thing? Like, I need to know how to sell this stuff. Like, y'all aren't telling me nothing. They're like, we're going to get to it. Awesome. Day 2, we go to a dinner and I bring Dana with me. She didn't come to day 1. I brought Dana with me. And again, we moved up about halfway because I was fired up by then. I wasn't so fired up that I was on the front row yet, but I was fired up about halfway. So I sat halfway in and they're doing an award ceremony. And they're walking people up that are making 100,000. They start at the 100. They start at 100,000. They go to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Some people making 800,000 a year. Then they start parading people making $1 million a year, $2 million. This is when I met Art Leeser for the first time, the founder of TLG. He was making $3.5 million a year. And I'll remember like yesterday. I'll say his name. Some of y'all might even know him. His name's Mark Womack. And this dude was making $1.6 million a year. And Dana goes, bam, hits me in the ribs. She was like, you see that? I was like, I see that. Some people inspire, some people give hope. Mark gave me hope. I was like, if that dude can do it, there's no way that I will never fail at this. Like, I'm way too persistent, confident, focused, disciplined. I will never fail at this. And so I trekked. So after that conference, that was January of 2011. I got my first set of leads. Beginning of February, and started making dials, started learning the system. And every time I had a question, I didn't have someone who could give me the answer to it. They were always like, hey, I have no idea. Let's go find out. Right? Because they didn't sell insurance. So I had to figure everything out for myself through conferences, through meetings, through questions. And my first month, Tarisha, I sold 4 applications. One of them was on someone who just got back from prison. Second one had a heart attack 3 weeks ago. And the other ones, I don't remember why, but all 4 of those applications declined. Great start. Right? But I persevered, pushed through, wrote 7 apps for over 9,000 the next month, and got some of them to issue, got some money coming in. Really changed the course of my production when I was sat down by my mentor back then, asked me if I was serious about doing this. And I was like, I am. got talked into investing in my business at $500 a week. Me and Dana had a conversation because our rent at that time was $1,300. I was like, they want me to invest $500 a week. She's like, more than the rent? I was like, yeah, that's crazy, right? She was like, yeah, but you can do this, right? I was like, I can do it. She goes, okay, push the button. And we did it together. I pushed $500 on my investment, never wrote less than $5,000 annual premium a week since then. From 2011 to the day I got out of the field in 2016, I was investing $500 to $1,300, writing $30,000 to $50,000 a week. And it just changed my entire life. By December 2011 was my biggest agency month. We hit 103,000. By the next year, we hit 250,000. And 2014, due to partnership disagreements, Art stepped away from that company and reached out to me about 8 months later. And I went to go meet him at his home in Raleigh, North Carolina, late 2000 or early 2014. And on a handshake deal, left everything I had behind. $275,000 agency, making close to 300 grand a year, start from scratch. And started with Art because I know what that man can do. I've seen it in action before. I had direct access to him. It was game on at that point. So in 2014, pressed the gas, got back in the field, had some Bobo carriers and started selling $30,000 to $50,000. Got all of our elite carriers in 2015, pressed the gas, jumped up to $300,000 agency in 2016, on to $500,000 in 17. And then, we pushed anywhere from $800,000 uncapped to $1.5 million a month, over the last 5, 6, 7 years. That's my journey. That's where I am right now. This business has forever changed my life, forever. And we've got, and when we'll talk about that income here in a second, we'll talk about what that actually means, what it looks like. And if you've never been a part of the insurance industry before, we'll talk about how you get paid. If you've been a part of it and you didn't have systems and support, that's what we thrive with, systems and support. So that being said, I'm going to use that video that y'all just watched on repeat. I'm going to use that video to go and talk about some of the things that we are doing. So bang, let me know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see it?
It's buffering. It's coming. There it is.
All right, let me get to the front. Boom. Can y'all see it? We good to go?
Yes.
All right, rock and roll.
Yes.
All right, first thing about us, the Leaser Group serves Americans by offering insurance and annuity products, including mortgage protection, final expense, life, and health insurance. We do med sups. We don't do standard like Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance or anything like that, but we've been doing it since 2015. We've placed more than $60 million easy, probably more than that now. You have insurance premium and protected more than 60,000 families since 2015. Deeply committed to a culture of innovation and agent support, we offer turnkey insurance sales method with a robust lead generation program, many programs. The company successfully navigated the 2020 pandemic by migrating to full virtual sales platform and seamlessly continuing national sales. Matter of fact, during that year when we decided to go from the field to virtual, we grew by 18%. There are entire companies with thousands of agents that shut their doors. At the leadership of Art, Leaser, Kimberly Noretto, and my input, we kept them open and we decided to thrive forward, which is pretty awesome. We offer training, right? We've got mentorship, leadership, weekly calls, boot camps, which we'll talk about at the end of the call. We've got conferences coming up at the beginning of 2026 at a to be announced location. I think I'm privy to it. You've got a back office. We recently migrated from Meta Workplace to Microsoft Teams. And man, I'm loving it. I'm loving what we're doing with Teams. Just a phenomenal communication platform where we're able to go in there and talk to each other and share information and keep everybody in the know and in communication. We've got Integrity Connect. In 2021, we partnered with Integrity Marketing Group, which is the largest provider of insurance in the entire country. They went from, in 2015, from about a $3-4 billion company to now sitting at about a $34 billion company. They acquire, they spot and they acquire companies that move at a high rate, as far as placement and persistency. I'll tell y'all right now, as a company, we move as professionals. Though we may not be the biggest IMO out there, and a lot of you have seen our ads out there, we don't hire everybody, we hire the right bodies, right? We want to move with professionalism and teach people how to actually sell insurance with ethics. And we take care of multiple avenues. Our business stays on the books. We're known for our persistency. We've got phenomenal relationships with all of our carriers. Heck, I think we've got the top 2 or 3 in the entire country with just Foresters. Right? That's the type of premium that we do. So phenomenal. We don't have any joining fees. You know, it doesn't cost anything. Integrity offers a free CRM that links with the carriers. It'll link your clients with the policies that you write and connect them. And they do different programs like for referral systems, and you can text and email out, phone call from our CRM. It doesn't cost you a thing, which is phenomenal. We support like no other, you know, built on intelligence, innovation, and integrity. We support that's probably our strong suit in this entire company. We hire lots of agents, and their number one complaint is, listen, they just threw me in and they didn't answer my calls or answer my questions. We do that. It'd be hard pressed for you to be in our systems and ask a question and not get your answer within minutes, if not seconds. That's how we operate. That's how we move. We move at a high level. So always check. We utilize Teams and upline chats for that. Let's see here. On to the next. Boom. Our market is middle-class America. We have recently partnered with a vendor who does offer mortgages. Like they don't have caps. I've seen up to $1 million to $2 million mortgage, but mostly our market is middle-class America. People, you know, really the underinsured. We specialize in helping those families. How our agents make money. Through personal commissions, agents get paid commissions, which is calculated at a 75% advance of the commission up front. So insurance carriers pay us on what they call annual premium. So if our average policy with mortgage protection runs between, I would say, $1,000 to $1,500 annual premium. Let's keep it super round and lowball this at $1,000 annual premium. If you write $1,000 annual premium, one policy, you'll get a 75% advance and you'll earn your commission level up front. And then as the client keeps it, you earn the back end of month 10, 11, and 12. And other products are residual commissions. So every year, like with Final Expense or Index Universal Life products, they'll pay you on a 10-year renewal on that policy from writing it, which is super cool. Like I'm getting paid on stuff right now that we wrote 10 years ago. Right. Also, you get team override commissions. If you want to build an agency, we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right. The 4 quadrants. So we have 4 income producing quadrants in TLG. Quadrant 1 is mortgage protection, final expense, non-med life insurance. Quadrant 2 are our referral systems and building a pipeline. We also teach how to follow up with lapse policies, conversions, things like that. Quadrant 3 is wealth management through annuities and IULs. So we teach all 3 of these income producing quadrants, and quadrant 4 is going to be agency building. And we'll talk about that at the end of the call. When we bring a new agent on, our agent lead tiers to success, we start every new agent as a tier 1 agent. That means you need to learn phone scripts, objection handling. We need to check your schedule. We're going to work with you and provide accountability hand in hand so you can start to understand what it means to work leads. You know, there's agents out there, you can work your warm market, but at some point in time, your warm market dries up. You know, I follow a lot of insurance communities and people are like, how do you make money outside of warm market? Lead systems. Lead systems are the consistency to your insurance business. We have plethora of lead systems, from direct mail mortgage protection to social media mortgage protection to social media life insurance, social media FE, direct mail FE, live transfers, mortgage protection and FE, social media life insurance leads. And through our direct mail, they can call in, QR code in, or fill out the form and send it in. And our lead tiers are based on potentially the age of the lead, you know, generally. But we do have tier 1 and 2 leads that are anywhere from, you know, $5 to $6. You know, when it comes to investing in your business, yeah, it's not expensive to start. You know, generally, and I'll go over the numbers here in a second. We've got that lined out for you. But a winning combo is running these leads in silver to get to 10,000 a month. That should be your first breakthrough month, is to get to 10,000 as fast as you can, and then move up to the second tier. And the standard of TLG is $20,000 a month in production. That's what we're looking for. Can you do more? Absolutely. Become a tier 3 agent, start working our top tier leads and investing heavily into your business, and start writing 30 to 50 to 60,000. We've got agents that do that. They write 30, 40, 50, $60,000 a month, not a year, a month in premium. But it's following our systems and learning to do that. So just working with the different lead systems, and we train on every one of these leads you want to offer. You know, talking with the VP earlier today, she was like, should we start people on different lines of vet fee or mortgage protection? We're constantly thinking it's kind of how whatever you want to start with, we'll train you on, and we'll start to lead you, to making money. That's the most important thing. Going from submitting apps to, getting commission on those applications. That's what's important. All right. How we make money. For every $100 you invest in a lead system, doesn't matter the lead, whether the lead's 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, $30, $40, doesn't matter the lead cost. And the only difference between lead cost is age and intent. Age and intent. So for every $500 you invest, you should write at least a minimum of $5,000 annual premium. So in quadrant 1, which is MPFE or just standard life insurance, if you write an application, generally we see it's about 1,000 AP per sale. Remember, mortgage protection, I would say 1,200 or 1,500. FE 800 to 1,000. Let's just average it out at 1,000 annual premium per contract. At an 80% contract at $800 per sale, 5 apps equals 1,000. That's $4,000 that you would make on those sales. We get a 9-month advance, 75%. That's $3,500 advanced weekly. That's just based on a $500 investment. Do we have agents that invest more? Yeah. We got agents that invest $1,000 to $2,000 a week. I think Josh Harris was investing over $3,000 a week and wrote over $100,000 in a month, right? So you can, this is your business. You can scale it how you see fit. But once you start doing things like this, at what I did in July of 2011, started investing $500, it changed my life forever. And then I scaled from there again. Quadrant 2, when we talk about pulling referrals, you should be able to pull 2 referrals minimum, 2 sales. You'll pull more referrals, but 2 sales per 10 sits. Those 2 apps are another 2,000 AP, $1,600 on those sales, $1,200 advanced. Between quadrant 1 and 2, that we're already at $4,700 on advancing. Again, we sell IULs. As far as ancillary product, we teach how to do this. This isn't an exact trading call, but we teach pretty much daily on how to do things like this. We teach people how to find additional money through over investing in their 401k, or maybe just having additional money to invest in what we call tax-free retirement, which is IULs, or safety nets through annuities, we have indexed annuities. Again, there should be 2 opportunities per 10 sits, but let's just call it an opportunity of 2 sales per month at an average income of $2,400 a month. So an extra, $4,800 per month. I don't know about y'all, but when we talk about 4,700 weekly, can y'all do the math on that? Y'all do the math on $4,700 weekly times 4. That's $18,800 a month plus 4,800 on ancillary, $23,600 in income that you should be creating within your insurance sales. But Aaron, we got to pay for leads, right? Subtract that $500 off your $23,000. Is that a livable wage? I think it is. Now, is this something you're going to hit month 1? Not for most. People are like, what, this is awesome. I know you're working leads. We'll teach you scripts. You can make insurance sales. Guys, it's hard work. Nobody's going to lie to you here. We have to work hard. If you've never made 6 figures or multi 6 figures before, then you most likely haven't developed the work ethic it takes to hit it, or you've let distractions or problems constantly face you. And we're going to teach you how to overcome that. We work on that day 1. We'll get you into our training regimen, but this is what you can grow to and then scale from there. We do have agents that are making $300,000 to $400,000 a year just in personal sales. We do have agents that are stepping up and working these 3 quadrants and absolutely crushing it. So let's see here. Next slide. Our insurance carriers. Some of y'all might recognize some of these. These are our partners, and we've actually added more, since in the last couple of weeks here, but we work with Foresters Financial, Americo. Y'all probably recognize CVS. They partner with Aetna. They were like, hey, we're already working with seniors. We've got a recognizable name. Let's partner Aetna, right? We work with American Amicable, Fidelity and Guarantee. Mutual of Omaha probably is a huge name a lot of you have heard of. They sponsor Olympic athletes. They're about a $60 billion company. Aflac, we don't work with Great Western anymore. They shut their doors. We do have AIG and Sika. Now, Transamerica is owned by a company called Aegon, which is about a $2 trillion company with a T. The insurance industry is the only $1 trillion industry in the United States. And Aegon owns owns companies like Transamerica. And Transamerica themselves, they're a 330, 350, maybe $400 billion company. Foresters Financial is kind of a cool story. When I first got started in the industry, they were about $3 to $5 billion company. Since partnering with them, which the old IMO and with us, like they're now a $30 billion company, just strictly through partnerships. They don't hire insurance agents direct. It's all independent agents, which is kind of cool. So these are a lot of the partners that we use. All these carriers offer daily pay. You're going to be direct to the carrier. A lot of questions that may come up. Hey, Aaron, are we captive? Are we independent? We're independent. We're connected directly to the carrier. You're vested day one. That way, if we ever separate, that back end money is yours. Art really believed in that when he started this company. This is a company from agents built for agents is essentially what it is. And so that's smart business to where you don't have to be captive and you can be independent with these carriers. All right. Moving on. Why do people buy life insurance? 1 in 3 families might not be able to manage without the principal income earner or more than 1 month. 37% of consumers in the US buy life insurance to protect their loved ones. 30% say the reason is to pay their final expenses, their burial cost, right? Some leave it for inheritance for the family. We talk about it often. Especially grandparents, they love to leave, $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 to grandchildren. That's a huge sell. 27% say the reason to buy life insurance is to pay off the mortgage. That is a massive market within the industry and one that we have perfected. When it comes to mortgage protection, life insurance, we love the quality of client. These clients that we work with and we send letters to them, when someone buys a house, refinances, or takes it an equity loan, we send off a postcard or an 8x11 letter that basically states, hey, listen, we saw you just bought a house or refied or took out a HELOC. It might be in your best interest to cover that loan. That way, if you pass away or become disabled, your family doesn't lose your assets and they don't have to move out the house. So people fill out these forms and mail them back to us. We get on the phone and we match up life insurance to be able to cover those assets. That's asset protection. And we get paid extremely well to do it. And that's one of the quadrants, as far as quadrant 1, that we are very, very good at. On to the next. Boom. These are our promotion guidelines. So you start at a certain contract level with us. Let's say 75% is your starting level. To go to an 80% contract, you have to hit 5,000 issue paid 2 months in a row. Now, understand different carriers pay different commissions. One of our top carriers, which is Americo, pays our top contracts, which are these numbers. They've got several products that hit these. The rest of the carriers, it depends on product, client age, final expense, term life, decreasing term, ADB, MedSup. They all pay different variables. Like annuities don't pay, 75% of the annuity. Like we all getting rich if that happened. But they don't. Different products, pay different commissions. So this is our top product. And when it comes to Americo, we want to make sure that you're a partner with us before we give you that Americo contract. We want to make sure that you're going to go out there and write insurance. Just because they pay the high commission, they also charge what they call state fees. So you can start out with like a $50 balance, and we have 20 agents doing a $50 balance, and nobody writes any insurance. That rolls up, and we got to pay $1,000. Not on my watch. So we find people who are willing to run, and then we open up that contract to you if you want to use it. But to get to a 90%, $10K 2 months in a row. To get to a 95%, $12,500 issue paid 2 months in a row, all the way up. You see on the right-hand side, where it starts saying 50K. That is agency volume. You can start giving yourself promotions through personal production or agency volume if you choose to. So to get to 100% is just 15,000 issued 2 months in a row, or a $50,000 team, which is essentially 5 to 7 agents, running and gunning, all the way up to 140% contract. We do save the 135 and the 140 for agency builders, people who are building out their agencies. But this is our guideline. I love how free this is. Everybody starts at the same level and everyone has the same opportunity, and you can give yourself promotions and raises. You just hit the numbers. It doesn't matter who you are, what education level you have. It doesn't matter your age, whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter your ethnics. It doesn't matter. You hit the numbers. You work in the system. You move up. It is unbiased. And I love that promotion guideline. I love it. When you start working, we have levels that you can achieve, targets, right? Everybody needs a target to shoot for. The first target is a bronze partner, which means you've submitted $5,000 in a month. Your second target is silver at $10,000 in monthly production. If you knock down what we believe is our TLG standard, which is gold partner, $20,000 in monthly production. Next level is 30K monthly at platinum, 40K monthly at diamond, 50K. Some are like, dang, people are doing 50K. Yep. Executive diamond, $60,000 a monthly production at double diamond. Aaron, are you saying at 60,000 and you issue, 50,000 of it and you're at an 80% contract, you make that much money? Sure do. Plus you're getting raises. So you're no longer at 80. Triple diamond at 70,000 in production. And we do have one and only one black diamond producer in the company. His name's Josh Harris. He's hit over $100,000. Matter of fact, it was 117, over $100,000 in a single 30-day period, with our system. So absolutely crushed it. Quadrant 3, and this is my mentor. He's the founder. He's the president of TLG, Current Integrity Partner, partnered with us Integrity in 2021. His background, his pedigree, this guy's been building businesses for 30 years. Went to Ivy League schooling, played soccer, was an athlete, built his first business in his 20s with his dad. They built up a business in Raleigh. He's one of the rare ones who are actually like born and raised in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's not common, at all, but built up a business with his dad, and then got involved. And some of y'all might know who they are, but got involved with Amway in his 20s and started building a business with Amway. And when 3 years started, I think he was the youngest double diamond in Amway at age 31, right? And just started crushing it in the 90s, with Amway, built up to, 3 to 5,000 reps. He's got pictures in his office of him standing in front of crowds of 30 to 40,000 people, just teaching his systems how to break it down and make it go faster. The man built and moved his Amway company. But again, Amway in the 90s started playing with numbers and messing with comp schedules and things like that. And he found insurance in 1999, partnered with a guy, actually 2 other guys, partnered with them, and quickly found basically the start of the mortgage protection industry. They grew a company from 1999, got really started in 2000. From 2000 to 2005, built up to a $150 million company between 3 guys. Art being the national sales director, teaching people how to run systems like that, and just gunned it, man, gunned it. He himself had close to a $40 million hierarchy just under him, and like I said, I met him in 2011. He was making a lot of money, and I just wanted to learn from him. And in 2011, he parted ways. Some partnerships do that. Majority went to another guy, and he founded TLG in 2014, but the start of TLG in 2015. There were people that did not want him to start this company. I promise you, in 2015 was rough for everyone involved. But we persevered and came out on the other side like we know how to do. But that's my mentor. That's Art. Income potential. When building a business, if you're doing, $10,000 of or $100,000 of issue paid premium, which takes generally about 15 to 20 agents, within your agency. If you're just doing $100,000 a month with just a 10-point override. So if you're sitting at a 90, you're hiring it at 80, or if you're at an 80, hiring it at 70, right? if you're sitting and you just have 10% on 100K issue paid, that's $10,000 a month, 75% advance, 7,500, that's 90,000 a year. Scaling that up through personal production and increasing your average spread at 15%, again, 15,000 a month in advanced commissions, or 11,250 in advanced commissions, 135. Like, they're not even showing back end money here, right? This is just advanced, 135,000. 20% average spread, 15,000 advanced, $180,000 in commissions. That's building a team. It's all about putting people into the system, right? You can hire width and depth. We're not going to have a recruiting seminar here, but I will talk about one that's coming up in December that y'all can attend. Art will be there. I'll be there. And Kim Noretta will be there, along with other managers and leaders. We put in people every single week. Generally, for every 12 that we put in, 3 to 4 will watch, 3 to 4 will rock with us, and 3 to 4 will quit. Can't keep a quitter from quitting in sales. When you start breaking management levels, our first level is going to be key leader, AKA team leader, at $25,000 a month as a team, cumulatively. Second level takes about 5 to 7 writing agents. District manager at $50,000 a month. Third level, regional manager, 100,000, generally 12 to 15 agents. Will break you to regional at 100,000 a month. Then you move on with about 20, I'll say 23 to 25 agents at 200,000, vice president, associate vice president at 350K, vice president. I think this is an old level sheet, but we'll go with it. We've actually got senior vice president sitting at 300,000 right now. So just understand what that means and move up from there. Just hitting different levels. The more that you start building your agency, you start getting recognized for certain levels that you hit. Okay. Boom. Here we go. Here's the actual levels. Hierarchy levels: key leader, district manager, regional vice, senior vice. And that's generally how many UWAs it takes. If you're building your business and you work your way up to 105% contract, and your business is issuing $150,000 a month, which is generally about $200,000, in submitted premium, 18 to 22 UWAs with a 20-point override, that's $30,000 in commissions. 85% placement of that business, $25,500. At a 75% advance, you're pulling in $19,000. With the back end 25% and your persistency, things that are staying and not falling off the books, that could lead you to basically close to a $300,000 a year income. That's what I figured out. That's what I wanted so bad. In 2011, I saw it. Didn't really get serious about it until basically October of 2011, and started building my agency out. And stepped up and stepped up and stepped up, got my income where it needed to be, started issue paying over $200,000 a month, got out of the field in 2016 and built it up from there. And I've been earning anywhere from high 6 figures to over 7 figures for the last 5 years, 7 years. I hit my first $1 million year in 2018, right? And then on from there. Like I said, this business has changed my life. I got so much gratitude for this company. We do have systems where you can get involved in building with us. We utilize ZipRecruiter. We get discounts with ZipRecruiter, things like that. We utilize Indeed. We also have other finding techniques. We teach people on Facebook. Some of y'all were found through Facebook that are on here. Let's see here. Our weekly schedule. So we train our agents. This is generally what we look like. You don't have to plug into everything. The more you plug into, the better. If you want to grow real fast, just be engaged. Hop on, unclick your, stay on camera, engage in the systems, talk to us when it's an engaging call. But every Monday we do a corporation call with TLG from 12 to 1. Managers who are invited, when Art does one, we do a manager's call. On Tuesdays, we do a team call, my team call, which is 11 to 12. New agent basic training every Tuesday. That should say 5:30 to 6. Again, we changed that up. Then we have live dials where agents hop on and we dial together and set appointments together 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. A lot of times different agencies in my agency are doing 9 to 11 dials every single day. On Wednesdays, which is right now, hosted by our managers, it's a chosen topic by whatever they want to train on. I decided to do one about TLG. On Thursdays, if we have it, Kim Noretto, our VP, will host carrier training with a carrier that wants to come in and talk to us about their product line and get moving forward. On Fridays, we do a builder's call, then a manager's call if you're invited and you hit a management level. And then we do a 20K old school conference call, impact call, where we just answer questions for an entire hour. I love that call. I don't have to plan for that call at all. Heck, I don't even know what that call is going to be about, because people like you are hopping on and just asking random questions, and we answer them, every single one of them, for an hour. So I love doing that. And then Saturdays are Super Saturday. Every Saturday morning, starting at 9 a.m., people are answering the phone. People are running same day, one call closes, same day closes, scheduling for the next day, writing 3,000 to 5,000 on the week, and coming into Monday on fire. We do it. We actually attack it. Let's see here. All right. We have agents here. I'm going to stop this. Stop share. We have agents who have been here. Some of y'all have been with us. I've seen a lot of new faces tonight. Y'all know how do you do the raise your hand function here? Y'all know how to do that? Everyone who's written 10,000 in a month, give me a raise your hand. I want to see who we got here. No, like actually, there it is. Tarisha did it. Raise the hand. There it is. All right, over 10,000, which is basically silver partner with TLG. Andrew, I don't even know who you are, but I love you. And if you're writing over 10,000, you want to join us? I got you, dog. I'll call you tonight. I don't know who you are, but if you've written 10,000 with TLG, give me a hand raise. All right. Is that it? Everybody else must be out writing. Okay. How about everybody over 20K? Keep your hand raised. All right. Over 30K, keep your hand raised. All right. How many we got over 30? Dang, we still got a lot. How about, I want to keep it at 30, but I'm not going to interview everybody. Diane Crump, will you hop on with me real quick?
Absolutely.
Diane, if you would introduce yourself, how long you've been with TLG, what your background is quickly, and the highest month that you've produced and what your personal production was.
My name is Diane Crump. I am direct to Nelson Alvarez, direct to Aaron, direct to Art Leeser. I am located in North Carolina and started this 3 years ago. I was a full-time teacher working 3 part-time jobs. Started with TLG part-time, working after school and on weekends, and found out like by the 3rd month that this was going to be my full-time home. Dropped those part-time jobs right away, but I had a contract with the school. So as soon as my contract ended, I went full-time. I have been building my team since now it's in the 2nd, 3rd month I started building. I saw the value in that and right away picked up on it, constantly in contact with my upline, following the system, following what he tells me, following Aaron. And I hit 30,000. It was right after I went full time. I went full time in January. I think it was in March.
And
I went over 30.
And you average on a monthly basis about how much?
Yeah, I'm averaging 20, 25,000 every month, plus helping my agents hitting their goals.
I love it. Andrew just asked you, are you out there beating the streets, going into houses?
Oh, absolutely not. I wouldn't be doing this if it was in the home. I really wouldn't. I love the fact that it's virtual. I get to work from home. I work my hours. If I need time off, I don't have to ask a boss. I just block it off in my schedule, but I know what my goals are. So I put in the time that I need to. And if I need time off, if I'm taking a vacation or whatever, I'll put the work in on the front end to make sure that I'm still hitting my goals, because I know where I want to be every month.
I love it. I appreciate you, Diane. You've been with us for a partner for a long time. And I know you're going to hit your goals. You're absolutely killing it. You are an illustration of success of what agents.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Aaron.
Again, real quick, Mark, I see you with your hand raised. Mark, you done over 30?
Yes, I have, sir.
All right, man. Introduce yourself to the team, who you're direct to, where you're from, how long you've been with TLG, and your highest producing month.
Okay, Mark Spear, direct to Aaron Gudeman. That's you. I've been with the company now for about 5 years. Started off part-time for about 1.5 years. I was part-time working 70 hours. a week at my day job and doing insurance part-time at night. First full year, I did 236,000. My highest month is 60,000. My highest year is 450,000 personal production.
That's dope. That's dope. So I don't know if y'all caught that, but he said he was working 70 hours a week in his full-time job and doing TLG at night, about what, 20 hours a week?
Yeah, about 20 hours a week. Still did 236,000 that first full year, just working different time zones. So, I'm a single dad. I was able to put my daughter to bed at, 8:30, and then I was running meetings at 9:30, 10:30 at night, but that was my time, but their time was 7:30, 8:30 because they were clear across the, the United States in California or Washington. So it allowed me to do my day job, become proficient in this industry, learn what I was doing, and become a force. And then I was able to fire my boss that next year. And the best part about it, people, is that, he didn't ask me to quit my job. He told me I couldn't quit my job until I was ready. So Aaron would not let me quit I was like, listen, let's go. I'm all in. He said, do not do it. So he made me become proficient at the industry before I fired my boss. And I'll tell you, the best feeling in the world was when I fired my boss.
I love it. I love it. Nelson Alvarez. You didn't raise your hand for over 30. Nelson, introduce yourself to the team, bro. How long you been with TLG, and what your biggest producing month is, and what management levels that you've been able to hit in this company.
Okay. I'm Nelson Alvarez. I live in New York State, upstate New York. I am direct to Aaron Goodman, who's director of art. I have been here since May 15th of 2015. The highest level I've reached is vice president. That's one step down from Aaron, and I've done it entirely using the TLG system and his tutelage. What that means is that my team has produced over 200,000. I've done that over 3 or 4 times with a personal production of 60,000. And I've done that 3 or 4 times. What's really important to understand is that if you really want to create a life for yourself, I was able to get in the industry because I needed to get my mom life insurance, and they offered me a job. That was what it was, really, a job. When I came to TLG, I started my career, and I began to learn what it meant to be a professional. 18 months over there, I came to TLG, and I did in about 6 months here what took me 1.5 years to do over there because the system was imperfect. So if you're thinking about doing something with us today, understand you're going to get the training you need, the friendship that's required so that you can trust the person training you, but you're going to have the camaraderie you're seeing right now on this page with Aaron leading it. Back to you, sir.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. Did you say how long you've been with us? I don't know if I heard it.
Yeah, it started in 2015.
Man,
one of the oldest you've got here. Don't let this face appear. I'm also the youngest, about 25.
Yeah, it's Puerto Ricans age well. That's what I think.
But yeah, I've been here for 10 years, going on 11. January was when I officially started. I came into the business in 2015, but like Mark, I played around with it for 6 months till I saw the value when I came to conference.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what it takes, in order to hit it. So last week, we had this week we had our show. It's not pulling up. I was going to pull up a leaderboard, but it just disappeared on me. Bang. Stop share. It won't let me pull up the leaderboard, but regardless. So I better let me pull up this though. Can you? It's like stopping me from sharing anything. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Boot camp. There we go. Can y'all see that? We have boot camps coming up in December. I know it's about a month and a half away. We're going to be in Orlando, Florida, December 6th, Raleigh, North Carolina, December 16th, Dallas, Texas, December 20th. We'll be doing a recruiting seminar. Lunch will be provided from 12 to 1, sales training 1 to 5, and then in About TLG, again, in each city from 6 to 7 p.m. I encourage you, every single person here, get to one of these events. You can register at tlggt.com/bootcamp. I'll be blasting that out, for everybody to be a part of. I'll be at every single one of these. I'm pretty certain Art and Kim will be at every single one of these. I'd love to see y'all there. If you want to attend multiples, you're welcome to attend multiples. We're just going to hang out, have fun, train, get people fired up and get people moving in each city, each location, and get after it. But registration is open right now. Those of you that hopped on, I know that was a lot of information to take in. I get it, right? We train every single day within this company. We absolutely kill it. We want to train professionals here. You get what you put in. I can't express that enough. You get out of this company what you put in. We do it 100% virtual. If you want to go face-to-face, Andrew, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, but we've taught since 2020 how to go virtual, and we crush it. We got agents that run those numbers at high levels straight from wherever they want to run it from. And we are proud to say so. We're proud to do that. So get back with the person who invited you on this call. Get back with the person, whether it was through text or a direct invite or through email. Shoot a message to them, figure out how to get started, and we'll start running through the names and start getting you moving forward and start working with us. But we're looking for professionals who want to run. We do have a 2 app a month, I would call it quota, but I mean, that's kind of ridiculous because we could share how to write 4 apps in a house. But we're looking for at least 2 applications a month. If you're not hitting 2, you're not working. And we're here to serve families. That's what we're all about. So that being said, I appreciate y'all showing up tonight, spending some time with me, spending some time with my leaders up here. And I look forward to seeing y'all either in Dallas, Orlando, or Raleigh, North Carolina. Y'all take care.